In a recent Valley Mole, I talked about how infringed patents sell. We were talking about the story of Kodak selling patents that had been infringed. Now, the question has arisen as to whether uninfringed patents, patents that are designed for new products, patents that enable companies to build new products, actually sell as well. Because that's what a lot of people think about when they're selling patents. Well, patent sales, they think a buyer will be buying the patent in order to build the product that is disclosed in the patented invention. Well, let's look into this a little bit further because it's not very straightforward, and selling new product patents can be a challenge. Let's imagine you designed a new bicycle and you had the invention, the design of the bicycle awarded a patent. That's great. You now have a patent for a bicycle design. Now the idea is you want to sell that design to a manufacturer of bicycles. Great idea. Not so easy. There is a challenge. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. The first challenge in selling patents to build products is that building products is a very costly business. The patent buyer would need to design, manufacture, market, sell, distribute, support the product. That is expensive, and it's a major commitment for product vendors. The second issue is that manufacturers generally design their own products. So there's a not invented here syndrome when you talk to many product manufacturers. They're resistant to outside ideas. They often think, well, you know, a bicycle manufacturer may think, well, we're designing our own bicycles. We think our design is better than yours. We can do better ourselves. And this is an issue that does come up in trying to sell new products into product manufacturing companies. Now, the third issue is that patents provide a right to exclude. The patent doesn't provide a right to someone to build your bicycle. It provides them with a right to exclude others from building that bicycle. The patent is an exclusionary right. It's not a right to build the product. Actually, what it is, it's a right to ask the court to remedy infringement by an infringer by awarding damages to you as the patent holder and issuing an injunction preventing the infringer from building, selling, and marketing new products that practice your patented invention. Okay, so the fourth issue is that patents are not always necessary for building the product. Some companies are looking for new products, ideas and designs, but do they need your patent to build the product? The question is, can they build the product that you've kind of designed there and bypass your patent claims? So if your claims are not drawn up to be as interpreted as broadly as possible, there could be a scenario where a manufacturer starts building essentially the bicycle that you've designed, but you can't prevent them because your claims are not strong enough to prevent them. So there's often a scenario where the patent is not really necessary to build the product. And a fifth area to look at here is that the patent does not eliminate the risk of infringement. So your bicycle design patent someone building the bicycle may not, if they buy your patent, they're not going to be infringing your patent because they own it. But they could be infringing patents held by others. Patents on the brakes, patents on the wheels, patents on the gears. Patents and inventions overlap. The bicycle could have several patented inventions incorporated into it. So buying your patent for the bicycle manufacturer doesn't necessarily eliminate their risk of patent infringement. And in actual fact, today you cannot build complex modern high-tech products without infringing someone's patents. For example, the smartphone. Today it's estimated by RPX that the smartphone contains at least 250,000 patented inventions. And the same situation is taking place in electronics like TVs and any electronic device. That's why infringed patents are the ones that sell, because the vendors of those products are stockpiling arms. It's not a question of whether they can manufacture the product without infringing someone else's patent. It's a question of, do they have enough patents to countersue if they're sued themselves for infringing someone else's patents. When you've got 250,000 patents in a product, you have to start thinking of stockpiles of arms and these types of issues. Okay, so when do you need a patent? When would the company buy a patent? Well, essentially, they could buy the patent to restrict competition in the marketplace, obviously help them buy more products. So the bicycle manufacturer may want to buy the patent to restrict competitors selling essentially the same design of bicycle. They may want to buy the patent in order to license it and extract royalties from infringers. It's another reason for buying patents. And the third reason here is that you may want it just merely to deter other companies from attacking your company. So if you can display a credible threat of a countersuit, it can help you, protect you from having suits brought against you. So buyers buy patents often because they're practicing the inventions themselves already, or someone else is practicing the invention already. They usually, actually, as we discussed in the previous story on infringed patent cells, they usually buy patents that competitors are practicing or infringing. Now, there is an exception. Drugs. There may be relatively little overlap in a drug, pharmaceutical. One patent could translate to one high-value drug. So high-tech, where you have a product containing thousands of patents, and pharmaceuticals, where the product may contain one patent, probably more than one, but could be relatively few, is a very different scenario, but the same patent laws apply. So in drugs, yes, if you have a patent for a new drug, then you could sell it to someone who wants to actually manufacture the drug. It's a different scenario from the smartphone situation. But of course, FDA approval is required, and most of those in the United States, and most of those drug patents have to go through a very expensive FDA process before they're ready to sell, and that's expensive. So yes, there may be different rules for pharmaceuticals. But individual patents don't create high-tech products today. They have to be grouped into thousands and thousands in order to translate a patent into a product. You need a portfolio of thousands of patents. Uninfringed new product patents can be a real challenge to sell due to some of the factors we discussed today. You can sell them, we do sell them, but it's not that easy. So they're hard to sell, but there is an exception if you have the next blockbuster drug,